You know that I'm being heard and I'm clear real quick before we start. That would be great. Thank you. Alrighty, so I am gonna share my screen now. Hopefully everybody sees my screen right there. And we'll go into presenter view. All right, so I am Francis Malone, the information technology manager here at Bergen. A pleasure to have you guys all back for our second Tech Tuesday. This will be the YouTube that it will be posted on. Feel free to take a picture of this or write it down real quick. I'll go back to this at the end. So no worries if you missed this now. We'll touch on this again. But this will be our YouTube channel that we will post the Tech Tuesdays on. The last Tech Tuesday, I apologize if anybody was there for. I lost power in the middle of that, so I was not able to get a full recording. But we'll do a brief run through of that, and then we'll go through our next few steps. So we'll go over BC technical support, the devices, the ID cards, BC email address, and then we will also go over the pickup times, which we were aiming for the last week in July and early August pickup devices. And that'll be emailed out when they're all ready and done. We have them all just working out a few more one and twos, and then they should be all good to go. And we will look over PowerSchool as well. So this is our email, the help desk here at Bergen. It is connected to the IT office. So it primarily goes to me and then the other kids that work in the IT office and Dr. Spiegel as well. So feel free to send any issues you guys have through the IT email there. It is staffed from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. until August 19th, and then back to usual school hours that will be working. And that right there is the phone number for my phone and my email as well. If anybody needs to email me, feel free. I try to respond as much as I can. Um, and we'll touch back on that as well, just in case anybody needs to write that down, take a picture of it as well. And this is our technology support center. So this is my office. This is the IT office at school. You kids will learn it very quickly when you're walking the hallways because you'll pass it a bunch. It's next to room 11 and across from room 10, the music room. I'm there from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. You might miss me sometimes as I'm running around the school, but feel free to send me an email or send the help desk an email if I'm taking a little while to get back. But I'm sure I will see plenty of you guys the first week of school answering questions. So next up, we have our Mac and iPad. For the people who were here a few weeks ago, I went over this, but everybody will get a Mac, everybody will get an iPad. They both have 4 years of Apple Care on it, which is great because, as we all know, they're very fragile devices, much like iPhones. So you guys will have device guaranteed protection for at least 2 incidents on the iPads, which break much easier. And you also get break damage with the Macs as well. The damage with the Max can specify a little differently depending on how badly you break it, but they cover almost any breaks besides water damage. Water damage they tend to kind of charge you a little bit for, but usually water damage is also covered depending on how bad it is. So on to our ID cards. Um, If you guys haven't sent a picture yet, it's no problem. If you can try to get them in by July 31st, that would be great. If not, we can take a picture the first day of school. Your kid just might just have to wait a few days until he gets that ID card. But no worries at all. Try to take the picture without the live photo on. That would be awesome. And you can email it to help desk with just the first and last name of your student. That would be awesome. And try to take it in a red polo. It's not the biggest deal if it's not in a red polo, but we prefer the red polos. And that's what they will look like, obviously. And the kids will wear them around their necks all day, constantly. That's how teachers will be able to tell who they are quickly, and that's also how they use the barcode for scanning to at the cafeteria as well. So now on to the email side. So if you haven't done so already, you can do so now, or if you have, just hold on a sec as we go through it. Feel free to grab a phone out or laptop, iPad, whatever you got around you that can get you onto Google. And just go into Google, go into Gmail, and use another account down here as I have. Um, and I can walk people through this after if we need to go back. It's no problem. I'll run through a little quickly just for the video's sake. Um, but you'll basically just use your first letter of your first name, your last name, 28 or 29, or 29 for you guys actually, at bergencatholichs.org. Most of you will be able to use the first letter of your first name and last name. Some of you we might have had to change up depending if there was somebody else in the school that had a very similar last name or same last name and first name. Um, yes, of course I can make the screen larger. That would be a lot easier. There we go. Hopefully that's better for you guys. So if you can go onto Google and type the first letter of your first name, your last name, and then 29 at bergencatholichs.org. Just pretend that 28 is a 29. And you should get to the next screen, which asks for a password. And everybody will have the same password to start with. It'll be lowercase bergen12. Most of you guys should work. If you don't work, it's probably, like I said, because you have a similar name to somebody else that's already in the building or has been in the building. And that's no problem. It's just that we've switched up a number or two or a letter. So feel free to send me an email on help desk just with your name and asking what your email address should be, and I'll reply as quickly as I can. And it's not the biggest deal if you can't get in now, if you don't want to get in. You guys probably won't be getting emails until later in the summer, closer to the start of the year. So no worries if you don't want to have to go check on it right now. But you'll just do first letter of your first name, your last name, 29, and then at bergencatholichs.org. And you'll get the Bergen one too as the password. And then if you click next, you get to the understanding page, which tells you all about the interesting things that Google has for the data in the account, but you'll have to click understand for that. And after that, you will be able to create a new password. So when you create this new password, it can be anything. I don't have access to it. I do have the access to reset it if you do forget, which we all happen to forget our emails password from time to time. So no problem if you do forget. You can happily email me or come to the IT desk if school's open, and I'll happily reset it for you. But try to make it 8 characters long, make it a good password, something that you can't guess easily. And try to download the Gmail app on your phone if you can. And then when you get your iPads, you can download it on there as well. Make it super easy to send emails and stay in touch with everybody, especially with things coming closer to the year. All right, I'm gonna get ahead and move on here in a little. If someone wants to go back, we can go back after. It's no problem. I'll touch on it again. But this will be PowerSchool right here. So for this, you guys will not have access to it yet. We're currently making everybody's account. So you'll have access after next week, and we'll touch back on that again in Tech Tuesday, the following one. But I just want to make sure that everybody sees this real quick, just so when they do get this to eventually, it's not all confusing for everybody. So if you want to go check it out, you can. Feel free to put in the link or save it because that'll be the link for how you log into your kids' account. And for the kids in here, that'll be how all you guys log into your accounts as well. Um, so don't log in yet. We're currently making those credentials still, but I just want to show this to everybody so everybody gets a little understanding of it. So when you sign in, so for kids, obviously, you would write your name right there, your username, your password, and hit sign in, and you'd be in the account. For parents, you'll have to actually make your accounts a little bit. So you'll hit create account here, and then that'll bring you to this little page, and then just hit create account again. And here it'll set you up with a little parent page. So just the common sense of stuff, just the first name, last name, email, your username, password. Um, and on the right here, I have the password has to be at least 7 characters. And it will want you to render in exactly the same password again. And then desired username is really whatever you would like the username to be. It really doesn't affect us at all, but it's just whatever you want to remember for the username for signing into your account. And parents, your account will look a little bit different than your son's account. The sons will have a little bit more access to stuff, but the parents are really just looking at classes, passwords, and so forth when major grades come out. The parents would fill this out, and then you would get to this page. This page you currently can't get to yet, obviously, with not having all the stuff yet. But this will be given out in the PowerSchool. So when we send out accounts and when you guys are all ready for device pickup, we'll give you a sheet of paper that'll have your access ID and password, and I'll show you that a little later what that sheet will look like. But after the parents fill out the page that has the first name, last name, email, you'd get to this page, and you would use your student name, which doesn't matter. It doesn't bind to it. The student name is whatever you would like when you look up to see what your son's name would be. The access ID and access password is what is unique in the scenario and what is we will have to give you guys. Which once your son is able to get into his account, he can very much just click the information and then he can give you the access ID and password as well. And after that, you would choose your relationship, access password ID, student name, and then you would be in. So when they will come out, the course placements will be in your class registration little navigation up here. It's a very small page, Blackboard or PowerSchool. So you would just click the good class registration on that one to show you the course placements. But they are not finalized yet. But when they are, that's how you'll see them. And then school information will show you all of the passwords and different things that'll help you out throughout the year, which will be right here. So this is the page that has school information the kids will get when they pick up their laptops. So they'll get a student. Every kid gets an ID number that is sticks with them all 4 years. That username is Scott Harvath, our random character from a book, I believe, that was made up a few years ago. So Scott Harvath, S for Scott, and Harvath is his last name, and he graduated in 25. So for any of the kids in chat, it'd be first letter of your first name, your last name, and 29. And then your network printing password is something that we automatically generate for you guys. That'll be the password to get into your laptop. You're welcome to change it. Just makes it a little easier on us if you have problems. And locker number and locker combination you'll get later on. And parents, you'll also get mother and father Blackboard accounts, two separate accounts that you can both observe for Blackboard that we use for, I'll tell you about a little later. But it'll be used for all education in terms of all assignments and classwork will be shown on Blackboard. So that's how you'll get an overview of looking at that. And you'll get this sheet when you pick up the laptops hopefully that first week of August. And if anybody has questions, you feel free to ask when you come pick them up because it is not the easiest thing of all time. But yeah, feel free to ask questions if you'd like. We are now pretty much at the end. We will go through PowerSchool, Blackboard, and submitting summer assignments on the 29th. And we'll kind of touch base on really everything a little bit. But feel free to ask questions if you guys would like. I can also go back to certain slides if people would like to see the email again or go back to the ID. But thank you so much for coming. Look forward to seeing you guys on the 29th. But yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Hope everyone's having a great one. Yeah, Joanna, ask the question. No problem. So this will be the start of the email. It'll be your first initial that's set up here, your full last name, and then 2 digits of your graduation year. So obviously I did not change Dr. Spiegel's from 28 to 29. So if you guys can just use the 9 instead. Thank you all for coming. And then you just go onto Google Chrome through Gmail and you can use it right through there. So if you go into Google Chrome or even through Safari or Firefox, really any internet browser, um, as long as you just type in Gmail and then go to sign in or use another account, and then you'd type your first letter, your first name, your last name, the year your son graduates. In this case, it'll be 29 at bergencatholichs.org. And through that, you will then use the password, which will be the same for everybody at first. It'll be Bergen12 or Bergen12. Does it say the password is wrong when you put in the name, or does it say the password is wrong when you hit next after putting in Bergen12 for the password? Okay, so Jen and Joanna, if you want to send an email to help desk, with just your son's first and last name and just say email, um, question mark, or just mention Tech Tuesday, I will go ahead tomorrow morning and I'll email you guys I'll reset passwords or just check them out and make sure if they're spelled correctly for the emails. But if you just want to send me an email to the help desk right there, and I will send back a email tomorrow morning with both your son's emails in it so they can log in. No problem. And to recap, we cannot log into PowerSchool yet. No. PowerSchool right now for you guys won't have anything in it yet, as the class schedules are still being finalized. Um, so PowerSchool, we're currently putting everybody's accounts in right now. So I'm hoping to have those done by the end of next week as well. Um, and then when you come to pick up your devices, you'll get a sheet of paper that'll have your username and password to log into those devices. Yes, PowerSchool is only for classes, schedule, and passwords mostly. Some grades will come out, but that will mostly be like the midterm grades or halfway through the year grades and finalized grades. Will be sent out through PowerSchool and shown on PowerSchool. But during the year, it is mostly just used for schedule, the classes that he's currently in, and his password sheet that has the parent information and the Blackboard and Gmail stuff.